Hey, young world. Hey, young world. Hey, it's Carlos,
This is Ryan.
and this is the blank with Carlos and Ryan. Thank you for coming this week. You might have noticed that me and Ryan are not together today again. There's reasons to explain. Number one, it's raining as fuck outside, so I'm not trying to get wet. Pause. And I got my vaccine yesterday. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So you probably
got me
weren't
vaccinated.
not feeling too hot.
Yeah, it's I'm feeling much better now. I'm feeling pretty invincible. I feel like a motherfucking god right now. But other than that, everything's fine. Everything's kosher. So I urge you all to get your vaccine, and you too will feel invincible. Now, if everyone can watch me do some heroin, and let's get on with the show. Yeah, woo. But yeah, Ryan, how you feeling? How you holding up?
Chilling. I think
I heard you booked your vaccine.
I did.
Mm.
I don't even know what I was about to say, but I was gonna leave mine for the original second date that they happened to give you, and then people were just kind of on me about it. So they are right. You should try to get it as soon as possible. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go get it. So I booked it for sooner, and I have mine, I think, in a couple days.
Hang on. I'm recording, sir. Sir. Sir.
I said we try to edit that out, but
no,
we haven't edited it yet.
Do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Fuck
so
it.
I got mine in a couple days. I'm hearing that a lot of people get sick.
Yeah, I'm hearing that's a pretty big reaction. I'm feeling a bit feverish. I'm not gonna lie, but nothing crazy, nothing too bad. But I figured I'd keep the energy in the home because I don't want to be around people and feel like I'm under the weather. But other than that, I'm still here. We're ready to go. Excited for a topic this week because it's a good one. I always like these episodes because we can always relate. Well, I can relate in bad ways, obviously, because my dating history is not the greatest. But other than that, we're here this week, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our dating episode, I guess, part 2.
2.0.
And we're much bigger, badder, and better this episode around because our last episode, I think, was a little over half an hour from my understanding. Or was that an hour?
I think it was an hour.
An hour,
something like that.
Well, we know what.
It seemed pretty quick though.
Yeah, but you know what? Damn it, we're gonna extend this one for y'all. All right, we'll keep it a little talkative, a little chatty, and we'll always keep it lighthearted and fun. Anyways, so I have a
before that.
Yeah. Oh,
I forgot to say Happy Thursday.
Yes, of course. Sorry, that's our.
That is my go-to, man. Happy Thursday. I think I want a T-shirt which just says Happy Thursday. I think that'd be pretty sick.
And Friday. You should say Happy Thursday and Friday.
And then Friday on the back.
On the back, yeah, that'd be nice.
Like where the merch
ideas.
The tramp stamp is.
Merch ideas.
Happy Thursday, and then where the butt is, Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yeah. Man. Think about that. Yeah, man. Let's.
How was your day today? How was your day today, Carlos?
It was all right. It was pretty relaxed. No big calls today. But during the week, man, because of the hailstorm in Calgary, I got quite a bit of calls earlier in the week. Those were raining goddamn golf balls out there. So people are calling in saying that their roofs were damaged and their cars are, freaking destroyed due to the hailstorm. And they're like, oh, why do I have to pay a fucking deductible? Like, motherfucker, I'm not going to charge Jesus for making it rain and freaking damaging your car. Like, what the hell?
This is how insurance works, my friend.
Yeah,
welcome to
deal
Canada.
with it. You know what I mean?
It's a shitty system.
It sucks. What can you do? But, I mean, at the same time, deductibles are there for a reason, pal. We cover everything else, though. We cover everything else, baby. That's all it is. Do I agree with it? No. But if you're Desjardins, if you're listening, I love y'all. Please don't fire me. I love to be employed by y'all. But at the same time, it sucks. But what can God is not available to charge deductibles out here. So
yes.
All in all, though, everyone's okay. Everyone, so no hazards have been done. But yeah, that's that's about it for my week. Recent events we'll go into. A big one that came up to my mind was the Rachel Nichols situation. Have you heard of that?
I have somewhat heard about it. I actually had to look it up today because the basketball world, it's like a huge thing supposedly. So, but
Mm.
explain, please explain.
So Rachel Nichols is an ESPN broadcaster. She's been a is it ESPN?
I think it is
It's
ESPN.
ESPN. She's been a broadcaster for the NBA Finals for quite a long time. She's been a sideline reporter for the NBA, and just abruptly it brought on the news that she was not going to be the sideline reporter this year due to someone replacing her. Look, Maria Taylor is the name. She is a black female, and she's good though. She's been a broadcaster for the NBA, the NFL as well. But it's the situation is causing controversy because, well, Rachel Nichols is a Caucasian woman, and they are feeling that well, she's upset about it because there is that opinion that she basically feels that she's being replaced because Rachel is white and Maria is black, and this is all like a affirmative action type of thing. ESPN saving face, wanting more black faces. To be fair, though, I think the black faces are enough on the basketball court, but I mean that's just me. But all in all, I mean, I don't know. Like, it doesn't get more diverse than the NBA. Why you like the reporters too? Really? I don't know. But all in all, like, do I think Rachel Nichols is a racist? No, absolutely not. I mean, she lost one of her jobs. Like, no one wants that for any reason. So I mean, like, she obviously, I don't think she's a racist. I mean, like, her intentions. Meanwhile, I do believe that. I don't know her, so I can't say for sure. But from what I've seen, I mean, she seems like a good person. But yeah, like I think she was just frustrated that she lost the job is all, and she has every right to be, and people need to understand that. So stop judging her. She has every right to be upset. And it's because the way I see it is when you're told that you can't do a job, it's either one, you're not good at that job, not even that. Like, it's either you're not for that job, or what ESPN did was the affirmative action thing, and it's one or the other. And even still, you'd have to be upset about both things. So I mean, I see where she's coming from. I don't think she's a racist, but praise with you, Rachel. Hope you all do well. Maria, I'm with you too. I mean, you're a sister at the end of the day, so I support you as well. But I kind of blame ESPN for it, for pitting them two together. But that's just me. Ryan, you have your thoughts on my subpar explanation of the situation?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Oh, thank you.
But is it that people like online and the internet are calling her a racist? Is that what it is?
A tad bit. It's almost like she has no right to how, because Rachel was she basically had posts where she was supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and they're taking it as, how you're going to support the Black Lives Matter movement but then not be okay with you being replaced with a black person. And at the end of the day, like, it's not like she doesn't support black people. I mean, she works with ex-NBA players who are, safe to assume, black. And it's a situation where she lost her job, and she has every right to be upset. I heard there's a recording of her venting about the situation. Nothing came across racist from what I heard. She was just upset that that this girl, she's working jobs herself. Maria, she's working jobs, and she's doing jobs. Why is she taking this one as well? So it's the situation of continuity. You know what I mean? She's been doing this for years. People are just used to seeing her. She's used to being there, and she's upset with obviously losing that sideline job. So yeah,
That's rough, man. It's a weird situation.
it's odd. It's
yeah,
really
especially
odd,
when
huh?
it gets into like politics in the workplace,
right.
because that really sucks. But I guess I get where ESPN's coming from, and I get like both sides of it, but just real shitty overall.
100%. And it's just, I understand ESPN's trying to save face, but looking to look like they are, supportive of, the movement. But I don't know. I think, if you're like, if that if Rachel's doing a good job in the first place, why replace her, right? If you got a good thing going, I don't know. But kudos to Maria. Hopefully she does well. Um, you know, there's gonna be a lot of eyes on the TV now, but yeah.
Harsh thing is about like, and this gets a little bit into cancel culture, which I don't want to go into too much depth because we'll probably get lost and I don't want to lose the episode. But
fair enough.
Like certain companies, they like lose money. Let's say if they didn't do something like that, and especially if they don't show face in relation to like current events. That's why there's like, the whole company's, really repping Pride every June, stuff like that, which I fully support. But it's just like, if these guys sometimes don't, then there is that whole side culture that happens to try and like cancel these specific corporations. And like ESPN, these guys are going to make money either way.
Right.
So it's like, I guess I get where it's coming from. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know exactly how. I'm not a international sports analyst, but or I don't run a multi-million-dollar company. But in this case, it just real shitty for all parties.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, I feel for Rachel, I feel for Maria, because both, all parties, I think, in this situation look bad, and it was a decision that I don't feel should have been done, but what can you do? We gotta move on and let the world work in its mysterious ways.
I got a question.
Yes, please.
Carlos, Ryan, what is your background, my friend?
Oh, yes.
For those who can't see it.
Yes. So for those who are listening to us on Google and Apple and all of our audio podcast formats, first off, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the support. Love y'all. Shout out to the homeboy or girl in South Korea for some reason. And the reason I have this background is because this is WrestleMania, to be exact, with the fans in attendance and the fireworks going off. The reason I chose this background today for the dating episode specifically is because when I'm on a date, I'm the fucking main event. I'm the fucking show of shows. The whole world's watching, and I put on a goddamn show. And with the female right in front of me, she's in it, it's the main event. We're going toe to toe. We're being entertaining with one another. If y'all want to watch, go ahead. Creepy, whatever, but still, main event, baby. That's what it is. We're gonna put on a show. We're glad you came. Enjoy your date, and move on. So that's why I have the background, because that's what it's like dating Carlos Sase. So, which, by the way, you can always hit us up on the blank 416, inquire. No nude pics, please. We want to keep this family friendly a little bit. But if you have any inquiries, hit us up. Thank you.
Shoot the DM. Shoot the DM.
Yeah, shoot the DMs is all. Other news: England and Italy are in the finals this Sunday.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
it's this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Holy shit, that's huge.
That is huge. So,
oh my god.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're soccer fans or not, soccer's a fun sport to watch. So, give it a look-see. I want to shout out to the countries of England. I want to shout out the big portions of countries of Italy, to Little Italy in Toronto, and to all of Woodbridge.
Yes.
Good luck to you all, and let's just have a fun match, you guys, because it'll be an entertaining one for sure.
You know what? It is so hype when Italy wins downtown. I live in Little Italy.
I imagine it's insane.
I don't know if it's as bad as it is. Not bad, but it's not crazy as it is in Woodbridge, because I heard like those guys block the streets. But like, it's so much fun to be in Little Italy, especially when Italy wins in soccer games. Like, it's fucking madness.
You're right.
There's just people flying up and down College Street with like flags, and they're just like honking horns, and there's people dancing in the street and shit. It's actually so hype. So every time I watch an Italy game, and I do watch it just because of that celebration kind of thing, it's that much more fun. So it's great to see the spirit. It's going to be a really great game on Sunday, so definitely check that out. I guess I'm gonna go with Italy on this one, man. I'll be honest with you. Like, I really have to. I feel like now that I live in Little Italy, I have to almost rep it, because it's like it's just part of where I am now. So I'm hopping on the bandwagon.
Damn.
So I'm going with Italy.
I can't jump on a team right now. I'll just watch the game and bandwagon whoever wins. But yeah, here's to hoping that entertaining soccer match happens this Sunday, and I'm sure it will. It'll be exciting time. If it comes down to penalty, I imagine it's going to be nerve-wracking as fuck. But hey, that's the game, baby. That's the game. That's the game. All right, but now we arrive to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the blank proudly brings to you its main event of the In one corner, we have Ryan. Ryan, wine drinking and all.
I am drinking wine, so.
And the other, you have Carlos. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
That was really well done.
I have to put that in there. But yes, let's get on
That
to
was
the main
hype.
topic today. Yeah, let's do it, baby. I'm excited.
So
Dating, man. Jesus. The real deal this time. No social aspects. We're talking face to face, mono y female mono.
what I think like
Mono. Mono.
what I think I wanted to kind of focus on today was specifically the questions. I think like it doesn't necessarily have to be a first date, but I always like to, it's almost like prepping, for like an interview or something like that. So like today's episode, I really wanted to focus on first date questions.
Yes.
And like how do you really get to know somebody on that first date, and like what questions do you ask? Yeah, like it's really those questions mean everything, because it takes that time to really kind of get to know that person. You have that time across that person, hopefully. Our culture, that's how it kind of works. So it's like I would love to know where your questions come from. What do you think about them? Have they given you success in getting to know that person? So first date questions, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm terrible at these, so I'm probably gonna ask for advice. But I mean, yeah, just I guess you arrive at the place. You should do the little handshake or a hug. Whichever is more comfortable for you at the time. How's your day going? Is everything all right? The waiter comes up to you, awkwardly asks if you guys want anything to start off. No, motherfucker, I'm asking this person a question. Mind your business. Go walk away.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Give me 5 minutes.
Are you fucking? I just sat down. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I haven't even looked at the menu yet.
Yeah, like you idiot. Get out of here. Get out of here. And yeah, just sitting down, like, yeah, everything okay? Did you get here okay? Because I'm not gonna pick her up on the first date. What do you think I am? You know what? She's not gonna chip in the gas money. I don't need to fucking pick her up. I don't care. But
Romeo over here.
Hey, I gotta tell it. Listen, here at the blank, I want to make it clear that we are all for gender equality.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
We are all for it. And no judgments here. All I'm saying is, if you want to be equal genders, do something yourself sometimes.
Oh my God, Carlos.
Hey. Anyways, yeah, equality, and just sit down. And I guess I just read body language, really.
Yes.
Body language is important to me, just to see what type of vibes they're giving off. If I see they're nervous, I ask them, "Hey, are you nervous?" And she says yes, and sometimes I'm nervous for dates, but as of recently, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been. But when I usually went on my first dates back in the day, I would say, yeah, I'm nervous too. You want to really establish that from the first moments you're both there. You really want to try to get that common ground to, if they're nervous, you're nervous. If you're excited, I'm excited. To really, to read off their vibes and, get that common ground in order to ask the questions. So that way they can earn that way you've earned their trust a little bit.
So let's say if the person sitting across from you does respond that they are nervous,
They are nervous
Yeah,
now.
no, they are. They are.
Okay.
So what do you say?
I'm just well, I mean, now I just be like, oh, don't be nervous. I have nothing to hide. I'm just, we're just trying to get to know each, assure them that, there's nothing to worry about. It's not like, I only told off the waiter because I want to get, more. I swear, nothing like that will be like that for the rest of the night. And
Fuck this
yeah,
waiter.
yeah, but fuck that waiter though. Look, fuck that dude. I don't care.
It's a
But
good looking dude.
yeah,
He's
you know
sick,
what I
man.
mean?
I'm
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
go
get
on
to
our
know
first date
you. I'm
here.
trying to get to know you and shit. This motherfucker jumps in like, "Oh, would you like some water?" Man, fuck you, dude.
I come in here looking like D'Angelo.
Yeah, you know what I
Man.
mean?
Come
God
on,
damn.
man.
But anyways, I'm not really the jealous type. I just wanted to let you know I'm a pretty open guy. But yeah, just to really try to get get the common ground. Ask them questions about what they do for work, maybe. Or just how's your day so far? Then try to find relations there. Really just like oh, my day was stressful. Oh, I had a stressful day too. My day was great. Oh, my day wasn't that great, but how's your day to day? How's your day to day? Just really, find the common ground first. I think that's a key point in dating.
Huge,
Oh yeah.
huge. I didn't even
So
think about that when I was
yeah,
thinking
man,
about my questions.
you have to really relate to them in order to, because like if there's no like, if that person's extremely nervous and you're extremely confident, it's gonna be awkward tendencies. There's no you really want to make sure that both of you are at the same level. That way, there's trust there. You really want to give off that vibe. 100%, 100%.
I don't know if it's like the liquor
Uh-oh.
or maybe it's because I chugged like 2 beers before I go into one. I'm just kidding. But
Jesus
but I
Christ.
don't know if I've ever been like crazy nervous, to the point where it's like uncomfortable, I would say. Like I think that I don't remember ever having like awkward silences. I haven't been on a first date in a long time, but it's
Look
I
at
don't know.
you.
I'm
Oh.
wondering like fucking how I really approached it from the beginning. Like I've never had like somebody that was like really, really nervous to be on a date. Maybe I'm just not that good looking. But maybe you got to be real fucking good looking for the other person to be nervous. But I don't know what it is, man. I don't like. I've never really I never even thought about like establishing that common ground. But I think that's probably the best point I've ever heard in relation to a first date. I didn't even think about that, and I built a whole list full of questions we're gonna go over. So
Right here, man. It's right here. It's yeah, it's mind games. Well, not I don't want to say mind games because like
playing games with you, girl.
Just please tell me what you think. Tell me what you know. No, don't yeah, I don't want to say mind games, but you gotta play the game to change the game, you know what I mean? So yeah, just really just relate to them as much as you can before shit gets real. Because you don't want to start off the day by asking them, it's like, so do you eat ass? That's not a we at the blank encourage you not to ask that question. Not at least not on the first one, not on the first date. Keep it for like maybe a few weeks before you get into that.
So do you do it?
Yeah, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's like yes, but I didn't expect you to ask
but
that
I mean, like,
date.
why would you ask that on the first question? Like, that's not even. Oh my God. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, just relations. That's why it's called relationships, man. You gotta build them. You gotta build that rapport to relate to them as much as you can. And even if you have your differences, they can explain why. Ask them about why you feel this way. That's the point, man. To accept them for who they are, regardless if they relate to you or not.
So I actually built like a list over the past day or so, just thinking about today's episode.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna go over each one of them. But one of the
go for
ones
it.
that I really thought about, and I have used this as like a first date question before, was
How early in the date or how late in the date?
probably like right after you order drinks. So like you're probably like a good couple, like maybe half an hour in, maybe 15 minutes in. It's already past the introduction. You sit down, you order a drink, your drink comes because you've already talked about your day in the last 20 minutes. And then you get into the let me get to know you phase part of the date if we're really going to break it down. And I think one of the questions that I have asked somebody was, why or how did you dress for today? Like, how did you prep your outfit?
You asked them that?
Yeah, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting question. I think like because like man, like you can't get away from people being like they're not. I don't assume this. Well, I do assume this, but like I would think that people put effort into their outfit when they know they're going on a date. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's like you go in the mirror, you put on a shirt, you don't like the shirt, you put on a different shirt, you
Do
know,
they
pants.
ask their roommates or their family for advice,
Yeah,
like
like
what should
stuff
I
like that.
wear?
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know. So like or like how do you do your hair? It's like
Mm,
how did you prep to I don't know if it's the word impress. I don't want to use the word impress because maybe you're not about that, but it's like how did you want to approach like make yourself good looking today? You know, maybe you
mm,
are excited for the dates. I'm sure some dates like people aren't excited for and they really don't give a fuck.
right.
But all of the dates that I've ever been on, I've always wanted to like look good, or at least like what I think I would look good in.
Mm,
So when I asked that question to some girl, it's like, how did you prep today's outfit? Like, did you think about it before? How long was it? Is it a big deal to be like to look
taking
good?
notes. It's not bad. It's not
So
bad at
like, that's
all.
and then we get into the whole conversation about like their fashion. And then, you know, maybe it's like their opinion about certain things, or it's like, you know, maybe I was nervous, like maybe I wanted to wear this shirt and maybe not this shirt kind of thing. And I think it's just a good conversation starter to be like, oh, you know, I've done that too. I've also like, you know, how many shirts I
Mm,
put away to think that hopefully you like this shirt and then you laugh
yeah.
about it and it creates that conversation. So I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
always a good like conversation starter. Hopefully, if you're good enough, you make a joke about it
Yeah.
and it makes them laugh. So I think that's just always a good kind of conversation date opener. It's like, man, how do we prep for today? Like, how did you prep? Or like, what did you think you were gonna put on when you woke up? So I think like fashion's always a good thing to bring up. I think that I don't know. I'm hoping that everyone has some sort of like a question when they happen to put on a shirt when they're about to go on a date. I know I have. And then it's
Damn.
even like cologne, like smelling
Mm,
good, taking a shower, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It goes all into it. It's like, oh, I took a shower to make sure, you know what I mean? Like, because you also want to just show how it's almost like getting into their thought process and being like, hey, what did you do to prep for today? Aside
And
from like the
Ryan's just
chocolate.
like, oh man, I just had a 2-4 of a Heineken right before.
I
I'm
literally
just
just
like,
chucked two bottles of
I'm
wine,
just, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Let's do this. Yeah.
chain smoked two cigarettes,
Yeah.
and
You know
like
what I
we're in
mean?
this.
But now we're in the zone. I'm ready, baby. Let's go.
I don't know if I could do that, man. I'm showing up to
What?
a like
Two.
a date like just fucking done, like just slurring words. You smell like weed. Your shirt's like half ripped.
Saying
What?
racial
Yeah,
slurs. Just like what the hell? Just screaming racial slurs at people. Like,
yeah,
whoa.
man. My
Oh
God,
my god.
I'd be like,
Oh
all right,
dear. Well,
get the bill,
yeah.
please.
Oh geez. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Asking them a question about how they would prepare for a date.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
maybe not even so much about like the clothing that they're wearing. It could just be um, like how they prep for certain things, and maybe it
Yeah.
gets into that situation or that conversation where it's like, you know, I just like to be prepared.
Mm,
Like I had a first date a while ago, and then I asked her that question, and she was wearing like a low cut shirt to like accentuate her like shoulders and like, you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. And it's like to show a little bit more skin. It's like, also, why did you wear that shirt? It's like, oh, because I know I look good in it. You know what I mean? It's like, what makes that shirt like your
mm,
favorite shirt for dates or something like that? Whatever it
mm,
may be, it's a great conversation. I think that people always are usually have some sort of like conversation about it, unless they're like mad shy or mad timid about that answer. But I think it's a great opening, and I think it like it creates that opening for you to be able to kind of just laugh at yourself, you know?
interesting, interesting. Yeah, it's not bad, man. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. What other
Carlos, do you
questions? Yeah, go
I
ahead,
was gonna
man.
say, like, do you have like any kind of question in mind that you usually ask? Like,
I
typically?
mean, something like that. No, I just really just let go with the flow, and I joke a lot with them. I crack jokes about myself, and then if they're cool with it, obviously, like I'll start off light, and say some light jokes about them, and then if they laugh or not, not obviously, I don't make fun of them the entire day, but I just crack some jokes about me, mate, most of the time. But yeah, in terms of like I really just get to know them, to be honest. you know what my fear is? My fear is that I feel like I'm asking them questions and making it feel like it's an interview. Because I don't want, because I know
Yeah.
some girls, from what I'm seeing, from my understanding, don't like it when they feel like they're interviewed, where I'm asking all the questions and they're not getting to know me more. I don't do that, obviously, because I don't mind talking about myself, but I try to work on that to hopefully not get to that point where I'm asking all the questions. Because I think that comes across when I'm doing the whole dating app thing. I'm just asking a lot of questions and I don't know. And then like I'm getting like one worded answers. I'm like, okay, this clearly ain't going nowhere.
I think it shows interest to be able to kind of ask those
And
questions. And
I
I know what you
agree.
mean. Like the whole interview thing, like the only time I ever feel like that is when I'm asking stuff about like their fucking 9 to 5,
Hmm.
like which I usually don't like to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of being like, oh, how's work? Like, what do you do? Why did you get into that industry?
Oh, you
That
don't
kind
like
of shit.
ask about
No,
that?
I hate it. I think that ruins that shit. That's when it feels like an interview to me. It's like,
Mm.
how much money do you make, girl?
Oh, yeah, that I
Like
would
you
never.
go
No,
you
no,
go and take
no.
care of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. It's like, man, I don't care. Like realistically, I agreed to go on this date with you because I think there could be potentially something, or I'm just here for dating. I don't know what it is, but I don't like that interview feel where it's like, man, like who is your profession? I don't like it. Like me personally, I don't like to identify who I am as a person when for my 9 to 5. Like
Mm.
I'm
Because you
so
don't like that person.
yeah, I'm like so much more outside of my 9 to 5, like my 5 to 9. It's like who is Ryan from 5 to 9 as opposed to my 9 to 5. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything to me. So it's like when unless I don't know, maybe you get a person that's sitting across from me that's that much passion, like they have so much more
If they
passion
love their job so
for their yeah,
much.
exactly. I haven't run into that,
No, same.
but I'm just it would be an interesting conversation. So I never really try to bring up too much about work and stuff like that. But
Mm.
that's just me.
Interesting. So you keep it light. You keep it. You just ask them questions of what makes them possibly happy. So in terms of like family, friends, do you ask about family or friends on the first one, or is it
Yeah,
just yeah?
yeah, I think that that's a good one. I think that like I've always taken this as a key in relation to like getting to know the person. It's like, do you have any siblings?
Mm.
And then they go yes or no. It's almost like a map. It's like, do you have any siblings? They either go yes or no. If
And
they
then
give
you
you a,
know where
if they
to
get
go with there.
and
Yeah.
if they give you a maybe, then you're like, all right, give me the
All
fucking
right,
grill,
come
man.
on.
I'm not
God
even
damn it.
trying to.
I don't need
I
this
don't want to
shit.
get into
I
this
don't want you
shit.
confusing. You're not playing these games with me. No way. Where's that
Like,
dumbass
don't
waiter at?
don't give me any of this. I don't want
Yeah,
no
yeah.
maybes. But they say yes or no, and then you can create a question from there, whether it is how your relationship is with your siblings, or how many siblings do you have, which one are you closest with,
Hmm.
and then you'd be able to get a feel of like who they are as a person, if they have good relationships with their family. Like an important thing to me is that like you sort of are a family person. I think that's one of the things I look in for, an SO or a partner realistically, that they are involved in their family and they like being a family person. And then, like, let's say if they say no and they're an only child, then it's like, oh, how do you feel about being an only child? Like, how's the relationship with your parents or something like
Mm.
that? And it's like maybe not too in depth, and you try to make it a little bit more jokey, but at least
Right.
it creates that introduction to feel on how they treat the people that are close to them or potentially not close to them. And then you get to learn a little bit about that if they're willing to open up about it. So siblings, definitely another question I always ask about.
Interesting. Do you ask them about past relationships? Does that even come out of your mouth on the first date?
No, definitely not. I usually
Mm.
don't, unless they
Okay.
bring it up. I think that's just weird. I don't
Interesting.
know. I think that's weird, man.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. I think it's just like it takes away from like the flirtatious feel that like I'm trying to give you, because at the same time it is a date and trying to get to know that person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to flirt with you. But you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm trying to like
Like, what's flirting with Ryan like? Like, what's the Like, what's the beginning there? Like, what's your move? What's your move? That is not your move, sir. That cannot be your move.
I'm
Because I
stroking my
know for a
mustache.
fact, I
I'm
know
stroking
for a
my
fact,
mustache.
I know for a fact when you first met Alesha, there was no mustache. So
I
don't be
think,
saying that.
and I hate to give away my tricks.
Oh, keep it, this
But
guy. We're trying to help the young world, man.
I smile a lot.
Oh
I think
boy.
positivity is a great one. I think that like if you speak about positive things, smiling, good facial expression. I think even like posture. I think posture is a great thing they actually like
Okay.
show. It's like to fully
A
just,
little hole.
like so you're not just kind of like inside like this. Like I
Right.
think this is a little bit weird. And like you said earlier, like relation to like vibe and body language.
Yeah.
Like to have a certain amount of like confidence in like your body and like just be able to kind of sit there and like
Yeah.
I think it's
run this
huge.
show. I run
Huge.
this show. Yeah, I get that.
Smiling.
Yeah.
It's another thing. You know what? You always, and I've always, and I hate to say this, but it works because people want to hear it.
Mm.
Compliments, man. I think that compliments and like showing interest in those compliments, like
When
someone
is the
says,
proper time to say a compliment? Like, when do you feel like do you
as soon as you
blurtly?
find something interesting. I think it's like so. With Alessia, it was like, what do you like to do? And it's like, let's say you're on a first date. The person says, "Man, art. I like to paint. I went to school for painting." Me, I'm not a fucking painter. I don't know shit about that shit.
Right.
I don't barely go to museums. The last time I went to a museum
Right.
was back in public school because they forced me to go to a museum.
Yeah.
In
And I
that
only use
case-
Microsoft Paint like once. Once.
But in that case, because it is something interesting, it's an achievement of theirs. You can throw in the light. Oh my god, that's amazing. You know what I mean? And like the positive wording, the just the encouragement to like be like interested in what they're talking about. I think that's great. And I think those compliments, like they can even be subtle. I think you did a great job with your outfit today. Fucking I love how you paint. Like I don't know shit about painting. Like teach me like something about it. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Positive comments. And it doesn't have to be anything sexual. Like it shouldn't be. I would guess in the fucking first 10 minutes of the
Oh, girl, I'm trying to. Oh, goddamn, girl, I'm trying to finish.
Let
I'm finna.
me know.
I'm finna take you and.
Yeah, like none of that. Like
Yeah,
that
no.
kind of stuff is fucking. It's too much. It comes off too much.
Yes.
So it's like the subtle compliments, like man, you look great, or like man, that's amazing. And I'm not saying that there's like a fucking book that I go by, but it's really just being able to kind of be almost fully like really, really interested in what they're talking about. And also, if you learn something new, let them know. You know what I mean? Like there's no, I think you gotta almost get rid of your ego. I think your ego your ego can definitely fuck you up on first dates.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So what you're saying is you should almost be a little vulnerable.
Yes, and definitely always.
Yeah.
And like especially in relation to your questions, it's like sometimes you just have to get into that depth. Like mine and Alesha's first date, and for anybody who listened to our last episode, Alesha is the love, my love kind of thing. But in this case,
that is a blank exclusive.
One of the funny things that we spoke about was death on our first date.
Oh,
yeah, it was like really, really interesting. So like, it was, what do you think about death? And like, what are the thought process behind death? And like, what do you believe in? So we even got to that point. This is probably after 4 or 5 drinks. But in this case, it's really interesting to be able to kind of see if you guys are on the same page in relation to like life. Sorry for the noise in the background, but
it's okay.
Yeah, man, like that was one of the things that we kind of like spoke about in relation to it. So like as soon as we found that like deeper common ground, it was kind of like, oh my God, this is the girl. Me and you're it. You know what I mean? So it's like there are definitely levels to it, and especially if you can feel out that other person sitting across from you and whether they're willing to even talk about stuff like that. You're hoping that when they come out and say I'm an open book, they really are an open book. But Yeah, I know. Like death is one of those funny things where it's like it's probably terrible to talk about 99% of the time, but that 1% of the time that it does happen to come up, then and if you find that common ground, it works. So
Interesting.
sometimes like morality, sometimes the ethics, sometimes even though that is a little bit heavy for a very first date, it works 60% of the time, 100% of the time.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. So
Yeah.
what you're saying, telling the young world is when they go into their first date, just to be like, "Hey, how you doing? Have you ever seen a dead body?" It's
Y'all
just
trying
like
to see a
wide
dead
eyes.
body?
You trying to see a dead body?
Y'all trying to see a dead body?
But yeah,
Carlos,
just
have you ever had an experience talking about like morality and like ethics on a first date?
uh,
Like a real in-depth, what's the last real in-depth conversation you had on a first date?
I don't think I've had one on a first date. I think it was just. I think most of my first dates have been all lighthearted. I've had some. I've heard some. I've had some deep ones where I on like maybe the second or third date where I didn't see
Okay.
that one coming. There was one like I'm not gonna blast her name because
Please don't. Please don't.
yeah, no, I'm not trying to get but I met this girl at a speed dating, um, and it went well. Then we ended up matching, and I asked her out. We went on the first date. It was lighthearted. All right, sir. There's no need. Calm down, you.
Dancing.
And so we went on our first date. It was lighthearted. We just ate, just got to know each other a little bit. Nothing too in depth. Then the second day we went on was literally the next day, and we went mini golfing,
Wow.
and yeah, that was fun. And then we went to some. We went to where did we? Dimitri's, the ice cream place,
Ice cream place.
and we it got pretty in depth there. We were talking about her family, and
Her
she
family.
said, yeah, her family.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And she mentioned her cousin, and I'm like, she used to be close to her cousin, but she wasn't anymore. And she said it with like a look on her face, like she didn't want to talk about it. Like, oh, I'm like, if it's too uncomfortable, you don't have to. Like, no, I don't mind it. And she was mentioning how I'm not really close with her anymore because I was sleeping with her husband for like over like for like over 2 years. And this is the second date, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like,
That goes
oh
ballsy,
my
man.
God. And I'm like,
Holy.
I'm the second date? My God. And I'm like, and I'm like confused.
Oh.
Like, was it? I'm like, oh, it was like, yeah, like I got like, I was like, I felt deeply in love with him, and he didn't love me back. So I haven't spoken to them in a while. I'm like, what the
Damn.
fuck?
You can't
Huh?
even lie about something like that.
It's like,
That's
dude,
like
like you can't make that shit up. You can't just be like, what
some
are you?
motherfucking Ricky Lake type
Yeah,
shit.
that's like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry for laughing. How did the rest of the day go?
I'm like, all right. She could tell I was pretty weird about it the rest of the day.
Oh yeah.
And then we went on a third date, and I was a bit spacious. I tried to be like I tried to be close with her and shit, but she could tell like it was a bit like there was a bit of hesitation there. But yeah, then we just ended things. Right? She ended things because she could tell that this was putting me off. But
Damn.
yeah, man, it was fuck. Oh my God. Yeah.
That is super rough.
Yeah, that's one of my many stories.
So the question, it's like, oh, like man, you could tell me about your cousin.
No,
Uh,
like I did, like I from what I remember, I'm like you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Like it's okay, because the look on her face was just like there was like something there. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm comfortable with you. So I guess there was a bit of relief that she's comfortable with me, but at the same time, what the fuck, man? Keep that to yourself.
I think maybe you helped her relieve that. Maybe that's the first.
Yeah.
What if that was like the first time she told somebody that, you know?
I mean,
Or you
did
think
it have to be?
she's telling every
She
single buddy that
like
she's dating? She's like, oh,
she just had to release it.
motherfucker,
She
I've
just
been sleeping with my cousin's husband,
yeah.
man.
I'm like, God, it's like for like 2 years or something. Like Jesus
God, you
Christ.
cannot write that. That's awesome.
No, that's like wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Like yeah, that's yeah. So opening up like that, that's I encourage everyone to. I mean, I appreciated that she got it early. She got it over with early because had we been like a year in and then I get the news, it'd be weird. But yeah, that was like the only time I guess there was this deep discussion. That's like probably the deepest. Well, no, I think I have no. Yeah, I think that's like the deepest discussion I've had, but I've had some I think that's not the craziest date I've been on. I've been on crazier.
She's been on definitely crazier dates, but that it's like, man, I didn't even ask for the answer there.
Yeah, I really I even told you, please do not tell me this. Like but hey. Oh boy.
So
Yeah.
another question I got, Carlos. Like, I don't usually ask this, but I
On
did
dates
have.
or
Yeah, I usually don't ask this, but like I heard that it's a pretty good one, and people pretty much respond pretty well, or like you'll get a feel for exactly who they are. But it's, what is your greatest achievement?
what is my greatest achievement?
Yeah, so like you're on a date
Yeah.
and you guys are asking, like, you're firing back and forth questions. It's like fucking World War II.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like, what is your greatest achievement? How do you react to that?
I mean, is it in like any achievement in relation to
Oh,
just your
it's
life in
whatever
general?
you consider
Something
what do you
you're very
consider it?
proud of.
It's you.
Something
And
you're
then,
so proud of that.
but you also want to say it so that your date is either like impressed or like gives some sort of like a view on who you are and what you consider to be important.
Mhm.
Because achievements could be anything. It's like, man, I got an Xbox achievement playing Xbox yesterday, or I don't know, I fucking hit the lottery or something stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be anything realistically, whatever you consider it. And then the way that you answer it really gives some sort of an outlook or like the view on who you are, and especially who they are, especially if they can answer that.
Hmm.
I think it's a great question. So I've never really asked that, but I think it's a great question. So it's like, how do you
I think
answer
so.
that?
That's a deep one. I mean, to be perfectly honest, something that I'm truly proud of, I was performing a pile driver on a female, and as we were finishing up, I screamed out, "Carlos, flawless victory!" And she giggled from that, so that was a pretty proud moment of
In
myself.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat it up. And she laughed and she's like, "Okay, you're weird. Please leave." But I left with a smile on my face. That's for sure. No, that story's not true. Yeah, I don't know. Greatest achievement. I mean, I guess I wouldn't know what to like. What would I have said back then? I really don't know. I
Or
really
like
don't
today,
know.
let's say you go on a date tomorrow.
Like, because when I'm thinking of achievements, like, am I like I assume that if I'm asked or if I'm asking her this question, we're pretty deep into the conversation at this point, like, or into the date at this point. So like, am I switching up the achievement and maybe in relation to her, just like, you know what, I can tell that she's a work person, so maybe I can tell her my relations to work. But personally, that's not my greatest. I don't feel it's my greatest achievement. So I could tell her my greatest achievement. She'd be like, "What? That's it?" You know what I mean? I don't want to. Obviously, the point of dating is to look to make yourself look good, so and attractive to the other partner. So I don't know. So when I think about achievements, like, would you say something that makes you happy or something that would be in relation to her?
You asking
So,
me?
like, yes, I'm asking you.
Oh,
I'm answering your question by asking you a question. I'm deflecting, is what the kids say. Not that I'm
if
deflecting, because I really don't know what I'd say. I mean, if it was today, I'd probably say starting this podcast
that's the best fucking answer I've
of
heard.
all time, and of all time. And for all you that are listening, or all of you that are watching, I say listening to this podcast is a great achievement as well. So bring it up on your dates, and trust me, you'll go
It'll work.
places. It
It'll work.
works. It works. But yes, Ryan. Yes. What would you say, or what would your answer be, or how do you feel about that kind of question?
I like it. I like the question. I think that when it was brought up in conversation, when I was like talking about, first date questions, and they were like, what is your greatest achievement? And it really does give that outlook on that other person, like, especially in how they respond. So for me, it was kind of like, man, what would I say? And then I thought about exactly what you said about it. It's like, man, like, do we change up our answer in relation to exactly who we're sitting across from?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you stand your fucking ground and then you be yourself and you
Right.
say whatever means the most to you? And I honestly would like to say that, yeah, this is probably the greatest achievement I've ever achieved. Is
It's something that makes me happy and I'm
Yeah,
proud of it. And honestly, no one can take that away from me.
it's like soup for the soul, man. Like being
Yeah.
able to kind of sit here in front of a camera with fucking one of my best friends and my brother, I would say it's just like, you know, I don't mean brother as in like
For God's sake, the fact that you have to explain really,
like
our
street
viewers are not stupid.
But to be able to kind of sit here and converse with one of my brothers, I think that's probably one of my greatest, and then be able to share it with the world, or trying to at least share it with the world. But that's probably it. But I think that that's a great fucking answer. I think anybody would appreciate that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, you started a podcast? Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. But that was definitely one of the questions that I probably overlooked. And I think if I don't plan on ever going on another first date,
Mm-hmm.
but if I were to, I think that's a great question to ask. So
Interesting.
anybody who's listening, and
Yes.
you are about to go on a first date, maybe ask that and see where it goes.
See where it goes. Yeah. Solid question in my opinion as well. It makes me think deep though. Yeah, achievements, man. You got to really think of, what makes me happy. What's something that I accomplished or like, yeah, I did that. I did that. But
So
yeah, go ahead.
I was on a patio yesterday, Collective Arts patio in Dundas and Bathurst. Everyone go check that out. Who happens to live in Toronto? Because that is
We need to
fucking
start getting paid for these
patio.
shout outs,
Collective Arts, great brewery, great beer.
Yeah.
I was there yesterday,
Yeah.
sitting on the patio, and we had this lovely waitress. She was sweet. She's great at her job. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, can I ask you a question? She's like, yeah, of course. So I asked her exactly what we're talking about. I'm like, man, like, I don't know when we your last first date. And then she explained to me that she's been in a relationship for like 3 years
Mm,
with this great guy. And I asked her what was like your go-to questions on a first date.
interesting.
And the very first one that she happened to talk to me, she's like, me and you being people of color. And I'm like,
Oh,
looking at
she's
myself. She was
she's
a person of color.
she's a foreigner, is what you're saying. Fucking motherfucker. They're taking our jobs, goddammit. They're taking our jobs. Sorry, I had to go on this tirade. I was watching CNN a few minutes earlier.
All right, we're gonna get canceled. I'm just gonna close this episode right now.
Just to be clear, if you're listening on audio, me and Ryan are both people of color, and we love everybody for who they are. All right, go ahead.
She was a person of color, and she said that one of the most important things that I have to see in somebody is that they're almost on the same page with me in relation to like social, I guess like recognition is, I think, the word that she used. And she was like, me and you as people of color, what's important to me is like, the struggles that people of color happen to go through, living in North America or living on the western side of Canada,
right,
or the western side of the world.
Right.
And I want my SO or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my partner to be able to understand that like we go through certain struggles, and it's like if they don't understand that, then that already turns me off to that specific person. So I was asking her, I'm like, so how did you even ask that? And she was like, well, she's like, I brought up like certain current events to be like, oh, like, if we were to like talk about one of the things we were talking about before in the last episode, where it was like, what do you think of residential schools, or is there like a terrible balance from like people of color in comparison to people that are not of color that are getting paid more, like that kind of stuff. So she was like, it's important to me that they're on the same page as me, because you could be the most attractive person in the world, but if you don't understand where I'm coming from as a person and like the struggles that I happen to have to go through, then it's like you're never really going to be the person that I want to be with.
I see. I see.
So that I thought that was a great way to look at it. I don't know if it necessarily like I don't know if that necessarily means too much to me. I don't know how you feel about that, Carlos, but like I guess realistically it should be. Like if it's like to understand the struggles and the history of like what people of color happen to go through, depending on wherever you from geographically and whatever you are, you know, or whatever you identify as. Like if the other person on that date, if you get a feel from that person, it's like, and they're maybe not against it, maybe they don't understand it and they're willing to be open about it. But if like if they fully shut that shit down and it's like, no, man, that shit's a fucking lie, then it's like, what do you think? Like, how does that turn the date into something?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if discussing politics on the first day would be ideal for me. It's you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's it's a toughie for me because what I've learned in politics, like you can be all Republicans or conservatives or liberals or Democrats, but you can't agree on all things in politics. It's just not, you can't, because you have a viewpoint here and there and here and there, but there's going to be that one thing where you find that's really important to you and that person might not agree with, and then it's just like World War II. I don't know, for me it's just like, it's just going back and forth, and who headshot each of the body, and it's I don't know if it's a great idea to bring up politics, but I mean, if it's important to you, it's a clear sign that, but hey, if it's really important to you, bring it up, and then who knows, you'll find that partner who's it's important to them and see where their head is at, and then you've possibly found the one. But that's a touchy one for me, because nowadays, like, everyone's really political. It's a toughie for me to say, like, what are your views on this and that, and then you touch the wrong button and shit gets real quick, and then the main event turns into real shit. You know what I'm saying?
When do you think it's okay to bring up politics in a relationship?
The second date.
If we're really gonna,
second or third. If I'm gonna be quite honest, I mean, because clearly from the first date you've built an investment to this person. Everything was great, but I think the second date is more so the nitty gritty to really, second or third really, is to really see if this is going somewhere. What are your views on this and that? That's I think second or third date would. To me, I see the first date as like a lighthearted, short, not short, depending on what kind of date you're having. But
is this person sane?
Yeah, pretty much. That's like first dates are the background checks, to be honest, and then second and third is just like okay, what's your dealio, dude? You're sane, but like how sane? Like, are you like sane, or are you like, or you're iffy? You know what I'm saying? It's I feel the second or third date is when you should really get to the nit grit. Or if you want to be honest about yourself, about shit that's been going on through your life, then I think third date, I guess, would be ideal, not the second. And please don't tell me who you've been fucking before you go on that.
Oh, right before I got here.
But you know what I mean? I was going ham on my cousin's husband, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking
husband.
Oh shit. I was going, I'm like, wait.
Date.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Jesus. I'm like going nuts. Like, what are you talking? Like, are you hearing this shit? Yeah, just.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Just wait a little bit before you provide secrets like that. But hey, that's just me. I'm not, I'm just one person. Clearly, everyone has their own take on what a date should go like. But dates don't have to go like anything. Just keep it natural. Don't follow like a schedule. Just do what you got to do on dates. That's how the way I see it.
So I think my last question I do want to bring up, that I actually thought about this yesterday, just thinking about dates, and I wish I like brought this up throughout my dating time, It was if you had the chance to broadcast 3 points to the world, you know, and it happens to like if let's say there's like a fucking world broadcast system and
Mhm.
it pumped out this fucking speaker to every single fucking country and all their different languages so that everyone can understand it. If there was
Interesting.
3 things, 3 ideas, or 3 sayings, or whatever you want to call it, 3 things in the world to broadcast to the rest of the world, what would they be? And
I think
sorry,
no. Go ahead, finish your
I
thought.
was gonna say, and I think the reasoning why I think that's a good question is because it could either be a lighthearted question because they can say, you know, some ridiculous shit
Yes.
like kiss my ass, everybody.
Yeah. Fuck y'all.
But then it also gives the ability or the open door to be able to kind of see exactly what they would want to be able to promote as the person that they happen to be. So whether it is fucking peace and love
Mhm.
or save the animals
Yeah.
or fucking nuke the whales.
Oh boy. Yikes. Okay.
You gotta nuke something.
Yeah, I mean something's got. I mean, come on. Like, if you got a nuke, you gotta use it
For
on
my
something.
Simpsons fans.
Yeah.
But in this case, it really gives somewhat of an idea of exactly who you're sitting across.
Interesting.
Whether
That is a
they
very good
and
question.
I would think that even if they were to be like, man, I don't want to say anything, then
Mm.
at least gives you an idea exactly who that
Who
person
they
is.
are, yeah.
Yeah, like whether
Okay.
they're like an introverted person or
Right,
extroverted
right.
person, and then if they do happen to name you 3 things, which I would think that majority of people would,
Hmm.
and they would name the 3 things or say the 3 things that are probably maybe not the most important, but at least something that they would like to share with somebody else.
Hmm.
So I think it's a great first date question.
I agree.
I wish I got to ask that question when I was dating,
Yeah.
and it's always a good question. You know, maybe that shit changes. Maybe you're in a marriage and a
Yeah.
long-term relationship, and it's a question that you never really got to ask that person. I recommend that you all go out and ask your SO, your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband,
Lovers and
your lover.
friends.
Go ask them that question because I think you'll get a really interesting answer, and it's a great conversation starter.
For sure. For
So
sure.
definitely. So tell me, Carlos,
Yeah.
what do you think about the question first,
Yes.
and then give me the 3 things that you would say.
I love it. Adding it to the ammunition box as we speak. It's a great question. It really gives an idea as to who the person is. Even if, like you mentioned earlier, even if they don't answer, that tells you that they're introverted, and you know they are not comfortable saying something. So it's going to take time to get to know this person, which is a and it's a good sign. It's a good sign to give a signal as to what type of person it is. So yeah, big fan of the question. But if I were to answer, my first one is my life's motto, and that's I don't care. I don't. Yeah, I just
don't
don't care.
motherfucking care.
I don't care.
Don't
Hey,
tell me that.
you know what I mean? I'm not. I'm not the one. I'm not. You're gonna try and pressure me to think something. Hey, you can think whatever you want. I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna change my mind because guess what, baby? I don't care. And second one obviously is that I'm thugged out to the bone. Know what I'm saying I'm with that life. I'm about that life. So don't try me. No, I'm playing. My second one is I'm a bit of an introvert at times when only when I'm getting to know people. Um, Dates, not so much, but if it's like around a group of people, I'm pretty introverted. It really gets it'll take a little bit before I get comfortable around you. A little bit of time. But yeah, so you'll have to know that. And the third thing is once I'm out of my thing, I'm the life of the motherfucking party. I'm a good time. I am a great time. And not
it.
to sound cocky or arrogant, but yeah, I'm pretty dope. I'm pretty dope. I won't say it like that, but I'll just say that I'm a good time. And
Love it.
I'm the motherfucking main event, baby. That's what I am. That's what I am. What about you, sir? What are your 3 things that if you had to broadcast your 3 things?
So I was thinking about because, like we said earlier, like I actually really love that question because it gives you the ability to kind of like open up yourself.
Right.
What's important to you?
Mm.
And then you get to fucking broadcast it to the world in, you know, X amount of languages. I don't even know how many languages are out there.
Quite a bit. There's quite a bit.
And like, you know, it gets put in Latin.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think the very first one was the first one had to do with like almost like a universal like love. It's like, man, like love everybody because you know there's that, and that's kind of given. I would hope that like some people would say it's like, oh, okay, you know, like man, love thy neighbor or like love your person, like you know, just throw love out there because the more love there is out there in the world, is better for the world, kind of thing. So there was that.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was it was produce something creative, no matter who you are as a person. So in this case, in my case, at least, and Carlos's case, I'm assuming as well, but we've created a podcast to be able to kind of push our opinions out, but not push, I would say, but you know, get people to hear our opinions, also be able to kind of hang out with my fucking brother here, and we get to do something creative with our lives, you know, instead of having to, like I said before, identify whatever we happen to be a 9 to 5. It is your 5 to 9 that you are able to be able to kind of produce something, be creative about it, and share it with the world. I think that the more people that happen to be able to kind of do certain things like that, whether you're creating poetry, you're a photographer, you know, you're writing short stories, it could be screenplays, it could be acting, it could be whatever the hell you want, stand-up comedy, anything like that, to be able to share something else with the world and be able to kind of create you know, positive vibes and to be able to kind of like push something out there, is great for the world in itself. And I encourage everybody that happens to be listening, whether you'd like to paint, to write poetry, to read and to share, and or whatever it may be, produce something that is artistic because you have it in you. I don't think that anybody doesn't have the ability to produce something. You just have to be able to kind of find exactly what it is. And this is aside from the dating topic, but it's produce something. Because there's only have a short amount of time on this world, you know what I mean? And like to be able to kind of produce something artistic to share with the rest of the world, even if it's just your mom or your dad or whatever it is, then at least you got to produce something as a person. I think that's really important. And then my third one, which is real fucking harsh, and you know, my girlfriend said it was fucking harsh, was, man, you're not that special.
And on that note, we're gonna end this week's episode on that. Thank you so much for Jesus. What are you doing?
This gets into like my own philosophy about human beings, that we're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
So on a universal level, or like the grand scheme of things, I don't think that anybody is special. And shout out to Edgers, because we had this conversation the other day. That no one is above each other. We're all kind of on the same plane.
Right.
Even though Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates happens to, you know,
have that
create
title.
a great amount of good, you have this like fucking social title that was created. At the end of the day, we all still shit. We still bleed the same way.
Yeah.
We're all kind of on the same level. And it's like, as soon as we kind of create that basic understanding that we're all on the same level, there's no one under us, there's no one above us. You know, as soon as it doesn't matter what your fucking eye color is, you know what I mean? There's no social status that happens to be somebody better than you. It's like, that's when we can all kind of like throw away the bias, just throw away the color. You are a universal human being. We're all Homo sapiens. Are one race in itself. And it's like, man, like, don't create the diversion. So when I say it's like, you're not fucking special, don't think so highly of yourself, because we're all in the same boat together.
You have to say it like that, though. Like, you could just say, like, we're all humans.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes, man. It has to be harsh.
Okay. All right.
That shows a little bit of my personality. I'm hoping that, like, when I'm sitting across from a girl and she goes, and I get to explain exactly what I just said to you. There is that tunnel of being like, man, this guy's fucking negative as hell. And then all of a sudden you open up with, like, this blooming flower.
And then you're just like, bam, gotcha. You thought I got you.
Yeah, man.
You thought I had you, huh? See?
I love it. And that gets a little bit into like my like own philosophy on human beings and stuff like that. But I think that's probably the one thing. So great question. I think definitely everybody go ask your SO or go ask anybody in your life what they would do, because I think it's a great question in general, and it's interesting to hear. Like maybe it brings up a conversation where like you disagree with that,
Right.
and like you definitely don't want to disagree to the point where it ruins the date, but it's like at least it brings up some sort of conversation, and conversation is the number one key in first dates, I think. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed. Awkward silences are never good. They're never good.
So Carlos,
Ryan.
what is the takeaway in relation to first dates, in relation to questions on first dates?
You know what? Let's not call it takeaways anymore. Let's give out the hints. What's the hint? Because at the end of the day, we're giving out hints so the world can solve their puzzle, their blanks, their puzzles.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
why.
So what is the hint? We're gonna change the hints.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. The hint is, you know what, guys? At the end of the day, we're giving advice, but nothing is concrete. Nothing is set in stone in terms of dating. There's no official rule book. Truthfully, just if I can't stress this enough. This just cliche as it is, be yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are,
100%.
you want to just, if you want to ask a question you're curious about and it's on the top of your head, ask it. If it's a reaction that you like, then, keep it along that path. If it's a question she doesn't like and you ask it on multiple dates and they don't like it, change it up. Don't ask that question. If you're curious about something and you want to know, then ask away. Be yourself, right? Don't ask questions if it's not something that interests you, because you don't want to give off the vibe, because it's a lot of stress and pressure to keep up with the act that of a person that you're not. You're trying to be someone else, and you want to keep the girl, but at the same time, if the girl is not interested in the person you actually are and the character that you're trying to portray, then it's not worth it at all. You gotta, be yourself, ask the questions that, that you want to know, and then, make her feel special at the end of the day, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. What about you?
That was lovely.
Thank
That
you.
was lovely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mine's gonna be a little bit harsh,
Oh, Jesus,
I would
here
say.
we go.
And
Y'all ain't shit. Just throws his headset, just walks away.
Y'all ain't motherfucking shit.
Just throws his headset and walks away. I'm like, all right, this has been the blank.
But to actually, because I 100% agree. I think if Carlos didn't say that, then I probably would have said his, is that it is be yourself. And I 100% agree with that. I think that's the first choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to bring up something that I've always used in relation to any sort of conversation that I've ever had in relation to somebody that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes into, conversation politics. It gets into first impressions. And this is something that I use quite often. And I want to shout out to my cousin Brandon, because me and him have had this conversation about it. And he's a salesman. So we talk about being able to kind of like relate to another person in relation to business, in relation to like personal relations.
Yeah.
That kind of feel. So one of the rules that I always kind of like try to go with is like a smaller ratio in relation to conversation about yourself. So like whether it's like a 60-40 or an 80-20 or a 70-30, is that human beings like to talk about themselves.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
That is a thing. This is why we have social media. This is why we have like Twitter. This is why we have TikTok. People like to show off themselves. It's just what it is.
Right.
In relation to conversation, getting to know somebody, I feel at least is more receptive if you're a listener as opposed to a talker. Whether they unconsciously happen to fucking, feel it's like, this guy's asking me a lot of questions. I get to talk about myself. It is a fucking positive chemical that gets released in your brain when you get to sit there and talk about your achievements, talk about yourself, get asked questions, feel good about yourself because the other person's using their 20%, their 30%, their 40% to give you compliments. So for anybody, let people talk about themselves. I think that's important. I think it's really important for them to be able to kind of allow them to show themselves as a person. I think that sometimes people don't get the opportunity to kind of talk about themselves. So on first dates, I always try to do the least amount of talking. If you're really trying to balance it, I don't look at it as a 50-50. I think you lost that date if we really want to put it into terms if you talk 50% of the time. I really believe that majority of human beings like to talk about themselves. If you happen to show 30% of your cards to be able to kind of be like, that's amazing, you learn more about it. Maybe the next couple dates you use a little bit more leverage to be able to kind of talk about yourself in relation to percentage. But it's really take the time to listen to that person, get to know them, and talk less about yourself. I think that's important. I think that it goes unconsciously. I think that a lot of first dates, a lot of people have tried to kind of overcome the conversation or try to take over the conversation, probably talk way too much. And I know that this is probably a controversial rule because we're trying to put numbers on something that should just be kind of free flowing.
Right.
But I really think that it's important to allow that other person to express themselves as much as possible. And I think that it feels good to them. I think in the human psyche that you get to sit there and talk about your achievements, talk about the person that you are, talk about why you picked this outfit, all that kind of shit. And if you respond with the proper responses, you'll always get a positive result from it. And I hate to really take it so scientific, but it's something that I always do whenever I meet somebody new or anything like that. It's always a 70-30 where I allow them to speak more than I get to speak myself because I want to be able to let them express themselves as much as possible. And I think that the world loves listeners, on the other side of it. I think that you as a listener in a relationship, it's a great thing. Learning how to listen, it's a skill in itself. It really is. So it's like, don't be so obsessed with you trying to portray yourself and listen a little bit more to be able to kind of understand what's going on. So that's my takeaway, or to tell people in the world. It may be controversial, and please tell me about it. DM us, hit us on our Gmail.
Like and subscribe, and also comment on YouTube.
Comment, do whatever needs to be. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm 100% open to it. But I think it's don't fucking talk so much.
Right.
Allow the other person to talk. So that's my takeaway, man.
Quick question: kissing on the first date, for or against?
For. Always.
Damn.
You always. Every single time.
Are you pulling the move or?
Oh, always.
Damn.
I always pull the move.
I've never been rejected.
Smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
No, I've never. I haven't been on too many. I think there was only one first date that I haven't. And I think we actually talked about this in our last dating episode, but I think there was only ever one first date in my lifetime, I think, that I've ever not made that move. But every other date that I can think about, that I remember, I've always gotten that first kiss. So I always make that move. But it really does base it off of like the feel of the date. It's like, man, I could have pissed this girl off the whole fucking night.
Yeah. And then you just went for the kiss, like, what the hell are you doing?
But I think, I don't know, I'm for it 100%. I think even if I didn't like the date and the girl tried to kiss me, I'd still kiss her.
Damn. Wow.
As just terrible as that sounds. Just to add the dramatics, man.
Oh my God. Add it to the resume a little, you know?
Ryan, you kiss me, but you tell me you don't want to see me again. It's like
what the hell?
Man.
Yeah,
you're part of the game.
You're for the birds now. You're just a bird now. God damn.
Make me fall in love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
What
about you?
You
ever had a first date kiss?
Once. And it was nice. It was nice.
It's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really make the move. I think it's been an issue. The girl that I mentioned earlier, she actually asked me because we had went to the movies, and she after the movie she had asked me like, "Hey, why did you kiss me after the date?" I'm like,
What?
"Oh," I'm like, "Oh,
What?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question." Because yeah, it's been my first day in a while. I'm like, yeah, I guess it didn't slip my mind really. I was just enjoying the time, and I guess time escaped me. But yeah, I'm definitely for it. If if you felt you had a good time on it, and you're reading the vibes, go for it. But keep in mind though, we're in 2021, and sexual harassment cases are flying like hotcakes. So bear that in mind, folks. But yeah, I'm for it. I'm
Yes,
for
definitely
it.
feel it out before you
Yeah.
make that move.
Right.
Funny quick story. I don't know if she's ever gonna listen to this, but I went on
Oh
a first date a
Jesus.
long time ago,
Yeah.
and I walked her at the end of the date. I walked her back to her door.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know if that's like some old school fucking 2000s or 90s teen movie type shit.
Yeah.
So I walked to her door. We had a short conversation, and then I was like, "Hey, fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and kiss this girl." And then I kissed her. And then a couple dates later, she was like, honestly, Ryan, that was the first time I've ever had somebody lean in and actually kiss me on a first date. And even how like kiddish and like giddy this sounds, she
Yeah.
was like, I went and laid in my bed and thought about that for like an hour.
Holy shit.
And I'm like,
And then she wrote it in her diary. And
I don't know, maybe she did,
yeah.
but that was like
God
real.
damn.
It was real cute. But she was like, yeah, like I've never had anybody do that. So like me being the person that I am, I went back to my room. I laid in my bed and thought about the first kiss. I'm not saying that like your kiss was bad or anything like that, but it was just I've never had that experience before, and like she was almost like that was great. Like thank you
Wow.
for fucking doing that. And I'm like, well, it's just kind of a first.
Yeah. This.
We didn't end
Wow.
up together, which is the funny part, but it was just cool to hear. So like, some people appreciate it. Some
Really
people
appreciate
appreciate
this.
that
Clearly.
like that fucking act or that concept.
Yeah.
It's like some people have never had it. So yeah, man, if you could be the first one for somebody, as jerky as that sounds for me, it's like
Yeah.
Ryan just be going to kiss everybody.
Yeah, man. Jesus.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Funny. It was funny. I thought it was cute. I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah. Shout out to whoever you are. I hope your other dates have kissed you on the first date. But well, I guess that's been our episode.
Very lastly, oh my god, sorry,
Oh,
streetcar.
Jesus.
Very lastly,
Yeah.
just to hint our next episode, Carlos,
Mm-mm.
I would like for you to name your favorite R&B song right now, or like an R&B song that you can come out and think of.
Off the top of my head?
As a sneak peek, yes. As a sneak peek.
Oh shit. R&B. That's all. There's a lot of R&B.
Give me one that you listen to today.
I want to get the title right because I confuse it. It was for my old school heads. I apologize if I listened to a few R&B songs, but my favorite R&B song that I listened to today, "I'll Give All My Love to You" by Keith Sweat.
Huge.
Yeah, banger. What about you, sir? If you had to name an R&B song off the top of my head.
The last one I listened to was "Nice and Slow" by Usher.
Woo!
Banger.
Damn.
So that is a sneak preview into our next episode for our listeners.
So please, ladies and gentlemen, stay
please.
tuned. It's going to be a wild one. It's going to be a wild one.
And I am dancing for anybody who's
listening. Slow. Yeah, you may want to watch the video on this one as well as the audio. So it's going to be a fun one next week. But that has been the show. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time. Bear with us. We're still a growing show, so we're hoping to increase our viewerships a little bit. That way we can have a better production and better entertainment for y'all. So thank you all so much for sticking with us, regardless if it's how many of y'all that are listening. Thank you so much. Thank you to our friends and family for the support. And let's just keep it moving at this point. So with that, Ryan, did you have a thought?
I was gonna say, hit us up on Gmail, hit us up on Instagram, because that shit is important. Me and Carlos are actually looking into stickers. So I would love to be able to kind of give any fan stickers.
Yeah.
Basically, just hit us up. I would love to be able to kind of get them out to you. Share it with people if you can. I think Carlos and I are pretty interesting people. It's fun to hear
I'd say
kind of
so.
thing. So
Yeah.
share it with whoever you can, if you don't mind, and hit us up on our socials to be able to kind of just fucking start a conversation. We'll bring you up
Yeah,
for sure.
man. And YouTube wise, like, comment, and subscribe. As cheesy as it is, but that's that's the motto on YouTube. Because we're on there and we want to grow. So help your boys out, okay? But with that being said, I am Carlos.
And my name is Ryan.
And this has been The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. And the motto is boom, boom, boom. Feel it in. Yeah. R&B next week, y'all.